Hello. It's Monday. Stressful Monday. Here we are. Whew. How are you? Tell me, how are you? Tell me that your Monday is better than mine. Hi, Antonio. Yay, you made it. Happy to see you here. How's it going? Whew. Let's see. Okay, looks like everything is set. Usually when I go live, I need to check that everything is, all right. Hey, Walter. Hey, Code Gas. Yay. Yes, Antonio's promise. Woohoo. Very happy to see you all here. Perez is here. Hey, everyone. Oh my God, there are so many people from the start. Thank you. Yay. It's gonna be a productive day today, is it? Or stream. For me, it's gonna be evening already, so who knows? I'm early. Yay. Yes. I was studying material UI. Oh, nice, Code Gas. If you hear the doggy is still here. She's gonna be here until I think 8th of September, but then she's gonna come back. So you might hear like pause, walk in, and she might say hi. So, there she is. Hello. Hello. You cannot see her, but she's here. You wanna go to the couch? Huh? No, okay, she's gonna think about it. You wanna go here? Come. No? Okay. She's busy, she has her stuff to do. Anyway. Or maybe not. Okay, this is funny because as soon as I hit record or like stream, then she's like, yes? You wanted to tell me something? Anyway, we're here to code. So, as I promised, I actually did some stuff. Let me show you. There we are. So, as always, we're already running the thing. It's npm run start in the code along directory. And here's our code. Here is what we have. That was like a flashing of the result that I have. What's the plan for today? So, let me just show you first what I did. So I didn't find pictures. That required a little bit longer than I could give it on the weekend. But what I did is this. We now have a footer that is kind of like fully functional, I guess, with like the icons. I exported them myself from Figma. Just like there's like a plugin called Iconify, and I just type Facebook and I drag all the icons, export them as SVGs, and then we have them here. And I applied the same classes as in the other icons that we got from Hero Icons. So now that we have our footer and we sort of have the structure going on, the thing that we're missing on this page is the top product. Because if we check our, make this smaller, if we check our mock, then here we need to have the product, which we don't have. And that's what we're gonna be doing today. So I plan for today to start getting working proper English with our API, probably get some products in, design the card for the product, to see how we can adjust what we get from the API and show to the UI what we want to show, and kind of like, I don't know, adapt the data to what we need. And if all goes well, then we are going to hook this button to our search. Oh wait, we also have here. I think in our case we have only one place. So we're gonna hook it up to our search because we have home, search, and about. Search has nothing yet. And we're gonna display some products. So let's get started. Sounds really good. Awesome. That's really good to hear. So, images, I'll get to them. I'll One day we'll get there, but I figure like since we have already kind of like the structure, we can start going with other stuff, right? The images is not really what we're here for. So why stumble and like kind of like slow ourselves down? We don't need that. Okay, let me change a playlist. I'm not feeling this one today. This one looks nice. Yep. Cool. Yes. She's licking my feet, which is not distracting at all. You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi before I start? Come. Stop. No. Aileen, come. Aileen. No. Okay. This is gonna be a never-ending game, so... And now she's back. Come here. No. Okay. Then we are going to focus. Aileen, no. Stop. Stop. Yes. It's like, you know, she's crawling up on me. Come. Vieni qua. Aileen. Okay, that's it. I'm not gonna be distracted anymore. Enough. She loves power naps, so she's gonna go for her power nap. And in order to start, let's go to our... No, Aili, no. Let's go to our top product. What do we have in our top products now? It's this part, right? And we said that in this div, we're gonna display our products. So right now we have this H80, which actually just like means nothing. It's just to reserve some space. That's why we have it there. But we need to put in some stuff in here. So before we start that, let's go to our API and see what's happening there. So our API is a REST API, which means that we're gonna be using kind of like a method called get from it. There we go, type get. If you're not aware of like the get, put, post, delete, patch types that REST APIs offer, then I really suggest you to Google that quick. But mainly what you need to know is that get is when you need to get data, and then you have put, post, patch, which is sending data, and they're a little bit different. And then you have also delete. I think those are the main ones. But usually when you need to display some data, most of the time you're just gonna do a get request. So that's kind of like the common naming that is around APIs is like get a request or get the data. So there is currently one API called search makeup product. So this is our base API, which means that if we're gonna go here, then we should see all the data that we can get from this API, I assume. Why is it not loading? There we go. So a lot of stuff we see here, and you see the scroll bar here, it's ridiculous. So in order not to, so imagine if we have like only what, 8 products that we want to show, and we're gonna retrieve all of those. Not a good idea, right? So ideally there would be some method or some restriction that the API offers us. So for example, we have a way to sort results by the brand. We can also sort them by product type, and that's how we kind of add things up. It's gonna make more sense once we start using it. I'll show you a little bit more in details. An example of put method would be send parameters to the API. So sending parameters to an API, you can still send through a get request. So parameters are these ones, URL parameters. It's whatever comes after the question mark. But with put, post, and patch, you usually send also a body, not body, body, attached to the request. I think actually, so you could probably send it as well as a URL parameters. It depends how your API accepts it, but I think for like a little bit more advanced APIs, it's usually in the body, because then it's a little bit more discrete, rather than just like having it in the URL. But on the other hand, nothing is completely discrete, so you know, need to use with caution. But both put, post, and patch are when you send data to the API or some sort of thing to the API, usually data. The difference is only that patch, so let's say I have an account and I want to, so I as a user, I log into a dashboard, and in order to display my data, the website is probably doing a GET request to get my data based on some identification that they have. Let's say I want to change my name in my profile. I think ideally that would be a put request or a patch. There's like slight differences there, I don't remember. I want to say patch, but for some reason my mind tells me put. So post is something that you can extend your data. Let's say you have an array of things and you just keep on posting things, so they just add on top of each other. Put and patch, some of them replace completely the data, so you need to be careful with that. I mean, of course, it's how you program the API or how the person programmed the API, but this is kind of like the naming convention around it, usually. So patch is for update. Okay, and then what's the put? Put is for replace. Put and patch, they are quite similar, right? Put is required to be idempotent. In order to achieve that, you have to put the entire complete resource in the request body. Can be non-idempotent, which implies it can also be idempotent in some cases, such as cases that tells me nothing. I think post is for create and put to update. Probably there is something there, yeah. Adding something to the database. Yeah. I used only a couple of times the put request. And that was the API that I was using. It had actually the functionality of replacing whatever you already have there. So when a client needs to replace an existing resource entirely, they can use put. When they're doing a partial update, they can use patch. All right, yeah. Ooh, Douglas, interesting. Yeah. Cool. So I guess that's kind of like the rough difference between them. Most of the time APIs exist with get and post. There's also a delete, which I actually have never seen anybody using this far. I don't think it's super popular, although with the GDPR things that are happening now, I guess more and more things are gonna have, more and more APIs are gonna have a delete method, but not now. So back to our API. Here we are, search parameters. So we can search for products and filter them by brand, price, product category, tags, and many more. Take a look. Okay, this API also provides visual representation of all the JSON data that is visible as well. What does that mean? So let's maybe, oh, here we have the tags, here we have the brands list, we have product types. We went through that briefly in the very beginning when we were deciding to work with this API or not. Oh, this eyebrow. eyeshadow, foundation, lip liner, lipstick, mascara, nail polish. Okay, that's all. So we would probably need to make a decision here. Which one are we gonna take first? So since our website is Welly, short for wellness, I guess we should, where's the API here? We should probably go for something that is like eco certified or fair trade or natural, cruelty free, USDA organic, don't know what that means. Something like that, right? Or chemical free, some of those like buzzwords. And let's first do this request in our browser, because our browser is actually doing those GET requests all the time. Anything you put here in the, what is this? Address line, right? Address something. It's doing a GET request. That's how we got this information, by only putting our API URL here. So if we follow what they tell us and we want, so this is how they show us that we can append parameters to our base URL. So here's the base URL, right? I cannot select it. Here, this one is the base URL. That's what you see a little bit up here, this one. That's like the API endpoint. So I call it base URL. And then you add a question mark, as I mentioned already, and then you add one of the keys that they give you that you can search for, or parameters. And yeah, I guess we can start. So what we wanted to search by, we wanted to search by tags. And in here, where's the tags? Price, product type. So if I do tag, there's actually no information about the tag here. Oh no, there it is. I just didn't see it. Okay, product types, product tags. And the data type is a string or a list separated by commas. So, which means that we can pass several of them or one. Let's try with one. So how we apply it, you put a question mark, and then you add product tags, and then let's say vegan. And if we submit it, then we should see a response, which is a little bit smaller. We can also check it in our network. Once you refresh the page, is that? Yeah, 3 or 4. And here you can see the response, and we can see here all of the things that we got back. So we got 66 items, which is much less than what we had before, right? Let's check. Here we have products JSON. We still don't have the response, which already tells us that it's a heavier one. Look how long it takes to load. Oof, yeah, up to 930 products. So we definitely want to sort it, to filter it, and maybe we can add another one. Let's add eco certified. And they mentioned here that we can do a string or a list separated by commas. So what was that? That was product tags, and I do comma vegan and eco cert. I assume their API is lowercase and everything, but let's do it like this. Oh, cool. So there are no products that are vegan and eco cert. How about just eco cert? Eco cert has 3 products. Okay. Maybe that's our friend. Because, I mean, I guess it's not ideal to rely on it having not much results, but we can start with that, right? Because we need to display some of them. So in order to, I also forgot to get like the extension for it, so I'm sorry for that. There is actually an extension for the browser to beautify the JSON that you're receiving. Don't have that right now, which is fine. We have this kind of like workaround. So here's the data that we're getting. So first we're getting an array, right, of objects of each product, and then here you can also open it up to see kind of like what's the generic body that you're working with. So we have an image, which is cool because then we can just add an image. Then we have a brand, we have category, created currency, description. Very nice. So we already have the description for that. Then we have an image link. Wait, what's the API feature of the image then? Okay, have the name, the price, 0, nice. Product API URL, product colors. Yeah, that's something else that we could add later on to our filter. Product link, product type, tags list, Purpix. What's Purpix? Yeah, okay. And I assume it's gonna go somewhat the same. So here I see that the rating is null, which means that, or the category that is empty. Why I'm paying attention to that is because let's say in the code I want to do product dot category, and if the category is not there, it's most likely gonna error and I need to add a fallback. But since they are somewhat treating it here, then it makes me think as if we're safe to assume that the data is there. Although we probably should never assume that any data is there unless we are responsible for that data and we are the ones adding the fallback to the data. There is Doggy! There is Doggy! Hey! There she is. Hey Tarek, how you doing? I'm alright. It's a crazy Monday, but I'm here to focus on coding and to get some, I don't know, things done, I guess. Yeah. So, right? Unless we are the one creating the API, we should probably not rely or think that everything is granted. So cute, yes. Yes, hello, hello. Good, thanks. Cool. Alrighty. And let's check our third one just in case. Okay, category, done, description, ID, image link, name, price is again 0. Okay, all of our products are gonna be $3.99. I wonder though if we can rely on the ID. Can I search things by ID? Is that a possibility? Product type, category, brand, done. Let's check. What if I do ID 1040? Is it gonna give me something? Did it? No, it didn't. No, it just... What if I do product ID? You should use React Query, it's best than Axios. I heard more people using React Query, but we decided that this one we're gonna do Axios, so let's stick to that. Damn, you cannot do product IDs? Okay, that's kind of sucky because remember how we have a product page? This one. I thought to figure out the product by its ID, but it doesn't look like we can do that. So we have tags, category, type. I mean, okay, what can we do? We'll figure things out. Maybe we're just gonna save all the products to our state, and then we're just gonna need to filter out whatever the user wants to display, right? That's also a thing. That's probably not gonna be a thing in real application, because imagine if you have millions of brands. It's not gonna work. Okay. So, oh yeah, in order to get the products, I actually want to create a hook. So I'm gonna create a dedicated folder called hooks, and then use get products.js, and then you do const use get product equals then export default use get product. Great, how's your Monday going? Good. Finally it rained, so I'm feeling good. Oh yeah, nice. It actually also is raining here, or supposed to rain. Yeah, but I don't know. German summer is not really a summer, so I'm not, or I would say Berlin is not really a summer. But hey, if you're into rain and it's raining there, then that's awesome. Okay. Usually how I would create a const with a base URL. If you've done any of my API challenges, you've probably seen that before. That's just how I like to differentiate between base URLs and other stuff. So I put that here. That's our endpoint of the API that we have to have in order to get any sort of result. Do you see her? She's having a bath. Don't want. So here though, we do need to use our Axios. And before we use Axios, or no, so I'm thinking, should we use maybe fetch to see if our API works, or is it okay to just go like this? Did we already get Axios here? I would take a second winter instead of summer any day. Oh, really? No. I mean, how cold does it get in your place in winter? And how hot does it get in summer? So we already have Axios. Okay, how do we use Axios? We probably need to import it, right? How to do Axios, React, app. Let's see what they suggest to us. Fetch. What am I searching for? So, actually, DigitalOcean has pretty awesome blogs. Yeah, okay, so I need to import Axios, fine. Because I'm asking because in Vue.js, I could just create it. I don't know what's like the technical term to that, but I could kind of like register it on the Vue object, and then I would have it available throughout the whole app, so I don't need to import it in every place. But yeah. Winter, the worst is about 0 - 3, but summer hits up to 43 and recently 48. Wow, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of hot then. And winter is not too bad. I mean, if worst is 0, then I guess like you're not even getting like into, there's no snow. So Axios, show us. There we go. So we need to, wait a second. They have really nice explanation in Axios how to use things. So here we go. Request config. These are the available config options for making requests. Only the URL is required. Request will default to get if method is not specified, which is our case. So in real life, what did I say? Real life. So URL is the server URL that will be used for the request, and this one will be prepended to URL unless URL is absolute. So they said only URL is required. Cool. And they have a lot of things here that you can extend it with. We get snow, it just doesn't last much. Those are the few days a year that we get somewhere near -8, -10. Oh, okay. I think it's kind of similar here. When I used to live in Ukraine, it was summer about max 40 and then winter about max -30. Not all the time, it's also kind of like the extremes, but that was rough. So, and believe me, if you have gone through the whole winter without once falling down, that was a great winter. So what am I searching for? There we go. That's what I want to do. I want to do axios.get. Another question that I have to you is, I still would take -10 over 43. Really? I guess it depends what the conditions are. What are the conditions? And I think when it's like 43, then it's really hard to work or exist. But if that would happen, for example, like once in a while, where you're like next to a pool and you don't need to use your brain, then could be maybe okay. Summer feels like living in a hairdryer. Alright. Like blowing out cold air but still being like with the engine that is hot. Okay, so another question that I wanted to ask is how do you want to do the axios.get things? So here, for example, we have a .then. There is also an option to use async await, or promises, but I don't want to go into promises. For now, I get literally. For now, I guess we can use the .then to start with, but if later on we would like to convert it to an async await, I will be totally up for that. Yeah, with async await we can use try catch, so that can be also nice. I would like it to snow here. It's never snowing at where you are, Antonio? Or right now? Axios.create. Axios.create is something else. I don't think we need to use that. I don't know, guys. I really want the summer to continue. So, we need to import Axios first. Import Axios from Axios. And if we do axios.get base URL, and you'll see later on why I made the base URL thingy. And then we do a .then data, and let's console log our data. It doesn't like this because there are no semicolons in this part. If you do an explicit reader, if you do this arrow thingy, there is no semicolons needed between. So now let's use the use get products in our top product, and how you use it is by doing it before the return. So before the return we do any JavaScript that we need, and we're gonna do it here. That's the best way to use Axios, then best URL. Well, I would probably disagree with you because I don't think there is like a best way. There are many valid ways, so I think it depends on your use case. since we are using all the time GET requests, then we're okay using like the shortcut like this. Or maybe it's not gonna work, but it should work. So we want to just trigger our thing happening. So for now, let's just do it like this. That's not how you leave the code. Don't do it like that. But in order to get the thing going, let's see if we're getting something. I need to inspect it because I asked it to console log. Ooh, what do we have there? There we go. Boom! What did we get? We got the data. Nope, here in Colombia, there aren't even seasons. Oh, really? It just rains or it's sunny, which feels like hell. Yeah, because you're very close to the equator, right? So it's like very tropical weather. I'm speechless today. Clearly, I'm like blabbering words that don't make sense. Ooh, we got 2 times data. Interesting. Sucks, man. No. Is it like then like everybody's always like sweaty and like your face is always moist and everything? I don't like that. I don't like that. So, yep, it sucks. Alrighty, let me fix those things. It's 40 degrees in Syria. Where in Syria are you? You should spend the summer in Colombia. Yeah. I'm probably gonna dislike it very fast, right? You'll love it. Why do I think that it's a trap? And yes, it's because we're too close to the equator or something like that. Yeah. That's what I hear as well. Not the biggest geography geek here. But yeah. So, my camera is always shaking. There are no earthquakes here, it's just me. Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Let's fix that. Footer. I always forget it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, let's do key is gonna be item.title. Oh, where's that? In a foot? Where? Oh, the link. Wait a second. So this needs to be link.name. Oh, so you see, I didn't forget in one place, but in the other place I did forget. There we go. No errors. Colombia has too many beautiful places to spend the summer. Yeah. But is it then like more bearable in the other places or not? Abort the fetching. Why? Where are you from, Tarek? Antonio is asking. I spent the weekend writing my own code snippets in VS Code or modifying the existing ones. I just saved about 2 years of typing in the next couple of years. Yay! Very good. I did it only once and that's already like I feel so accomplished, so I can imagine if you did like so many things. Colombia has some amazing landscape. Yep. I'm actually thinking if the borders are gonna open, I might be able to have a visit to the US, and I'm thinking that if I'm already there, then I'll probably go to Colombia, because I don't remember, like, I wouldn't quote myself on that, but in Colombia, in some place, there is a city where the architect there has created a very or at least attempted to create a very accommodating city for pedestrians. So, I'm from Algeria. No, go to Colombia. Just be careful, you'll get kidnapped. I mean, look, I've been in places, so I know stuff, but yeah. Hey, being a woman in the world, you always need to watch for yourself, so that's... Or at least I read online that it's a possibility. I mean, you always have the risk of something happening, for sure. After we fetch in the data, we send signal to abort it. No, we don't. So, I mean, I'm not sure. What are you talking about, CodeGas? We're doing the Axios.get, which we got from the documentation. We're defining our base URL, which is this one. It's the same results that we should get here. We're getting them here. And we say, once you get the data, we have to use .then because otherwise it's not gonna wait for it and we're not gonna, that's how it works. You need Axios.get and then .then. That's part of promises. I could find like some resources to read about that, but I assume you're more or less familiar with that, right? If not, then ask questions. That was a big snore in the background. Yeah, you do it .then, you receive an argument, which is, you can call it however you want, and I decided to console log it. So, we are getting it twice though. And I assume because the component re-renders, not because you're a woman. I read that it is like a business in some cities where they kidnap anyone that looks like they're from a Western country. Oh, really? So that can be like an additional thing to that, actually. But maybe Antonia Stella can confirm or deny that for us. I mean, look, I lived in Ukraine where there's like a lot of things going on as well, that many girls and women are being trafficked and kidnapped. So, you know, it's a safety issue that you kind of always need to be aware about. Sadly, that's the world that we exist in. I'm not going to lie, but there is some kind of places which are so dangerous, but in general the touristic places are safe. Yeah, I guess so. And that's the thing, right? Until you actually go there, you don't necessarily know what's there. And like if you hear that something is dangerous, you might think that the whole country is dangerous, right? But then maybe it's like the news that we're getting are just like amplifying that something is dangerous, where yes, there are places that are, but not the entire country is like that. You know, it's like not everybody in Russia is riding on a bear. I can confirm. Narcos. Yeah. I mean, look, we all know that there's like things going on, right? And honestly, like sometimes I see things here in Berlin that I don't want to see, you know? And even here, there are places that you should not be going to. So yeah. Anyway. What did we want to do? Got distracted by all this traveling and safety and everything. It's a very interesting topic. But I guess we can continue from that. Okay, data. We said that we want to get just our eco stuff, right? We had like what did we have here before? We tried the ID, that didn't work, and then we had eco certified. Let's continue. Yeah. The eco ones, I really like them because they have only 3 products, which is feasible for us at the moment. We could also probably limit them later on, but let's just start with getting our data, displaying it, and maybe by the end of the week we will be able to add our store and read out the data from there. So use get products. Let's create a function. So the beauty of hooks is that you can actually have the whole functionality, kind of the whole, should I call it ecosystem? No, the whole functionality that a React component offers you within a hook. So for example, there is what we created now is a custom hook, but React also offers their own hooks, which is use effect, use callback, use memo, use ref, use state, probably so many more, and we can use them in our custom hooks. And these ones are basically hooks that are responsible for the reactivity that we can use, or we can like hook our functionality to it. And creating our custom hook enables us to remove all this logic from the component to a hook, and possibly reusing this hook in many different components. Did you will create pagination or load more button or infinity scrolling? Probably maybe a pagination would be nice, or load more. I don't know. I still didn't think about it. What are your suggestions? I'm still not there. Okay, so for that, I want to create const get data, which is going to be our function that we're going to be calling for this Axios thingy. And in that, we're going to I saw one that seemed very cool, but I haven't used it now. Use form, apparently it would allow you to drop forming. Oh really? I haven't heard of that. Use form. React gets custom. So then we need to store somewhere the data, right? Let me bring back the console log. So there are like some things involved here altogether. Query have this feature out of the box with error and is loading. So guys, I feel like you're selling very well React query, but we're using Axios, all right? Maybe next project we can check the React query. I'm using Axios because this is one of like the most common ones, so I guess it would be most beneficial to kind of like know how to work with it. So that's why. Plus we agreed on it last time, so yeah. What I want you to do, we want to save this data somewhere, and for that we should create our kind of like tiny mini state. My vote is for Axios. Cool. I'm sorry, features. No worry, I understand what you mean. And we're gonna call it const product, right? Because it's our product. You need to wrap it in an array and also have a function called set products. Now that's like, okay, let me finish this, writing this, and then you call the React hook use state, and you can pass an empty array. That's how it starts. We need to import use state from React, and now I can read more messages. Axios is better, change my mind. Oh, just kidding. Code gas, I think that was an invitation for you. So a couple of seconds here. What we did is we used the React hook called useState we set a default to it to be an empty array. So whenever the state is initialized, it's going to be an empty array. What this hook returns to us is these two things in an array. It's going to make sense. We're going to use a little bit more of it. So you're going to get used to that syntax. Basically, product currently, so at the moment when the page loads, not the page, when JavaScript goes through this line, product equal to an empty array. Okay, so that's kind of like what it means. And set product is a function that lets you particularly change the data. Okay, so once we receive some information, we're gonna use the set product to change whatever product contain in them. So you use it in the hook inside a use effect in the context, the custom hook. No, I'm probably gonna have a dispatch. So the use state is not gonna be here. We're gonna have our store and dispatch thingy going on with the context, and the custom hook is gonna send the data to there, if that makes sense. At least that's how I see it now, but that might change. So once we have Axios, we got the data here. What do we want to do is we want to do set product, and we want to pass to it data, right? Okay. And where do we want to use the get data? So now it's declared, right? But we want to also call it, and we want to call it probably on load, because we don't have like a button that calls it. Just whenever the page is gonna load us this data. So for that, we're gonna use the use effect custom hook. There we go. It imported it automatically from React. It's also native hook from React. And here you have an arrow function that you can write what you want to do, and then you have an array of dependencies. Now, the array of dependencies is like this holy grail where you need to pay attention to it, because if you leave the array empty, it means that it's going to happen on load. But if you're going to pass something to it, then it's going to update. No, then the function is going to be called once the thing is updated. So, for example, if I pass here product, I want to watch whatever products are updated, and let's say I want to console log I got new data. This will mean that once this is done, the products are changed, this use effect is going to kick in, and whatever I wrote here is going to happen. But I don't want that. I want things to happen just on load. So I'm going to do get data. Save it. And now we have those products that we actually want to pass to our top products. And how you can do it, since it's like const use get products is essentially just a function. Not essentially, it is just a function. You can write here return, and or in an object or just return, you can write product, which will mean this is an ES6 syntax, right? So it's the same as products product, but shortcut is just product. How many more times can I say the word product? And in here we're gonna do const deconstruction, right? Because we got the object product. And in here, maybe we want to map over those products. Let's just check what's gonna happen, or if everything is gonna break. Product. Let's do a p tag with product.id. Products. Hello, Babur. Products, what did they do? Did I have a typo? So what am I missing? I'm missing something. What if we delete the... Yeah, I think we can actually delete that one. That's also gonna be fine. But I prefer to keep it like this, as it's like more self-explanatory. What the project is itself. We're building an e-commerce website that looks kind of like this. Come join. We already did the first page, and now we're trying to fetch the products. So what did I do? Are products an object? Wait a sec. Oh, it is. I think it's because you're returning an object. So look, actually, that's the thing. So if you're using Axios, or if you're using Fetch, or what is it, Super Agent, what was that? XML HTTP request, or any of those, they most likely have their like way of how they give you back data. So in case of Axios, the data is actually the whole thing, including the status, the request, the headers, the config, and eventually you have data. So what I think is that we need to deconstruct here. Can we do it like that? Wait a second. Can I do it like this? Yeah, because in this case, the data was the whole information object with everything, but we actually want data.data, you know, key prop. Axios.json for you. I don't think that's Axios. I think that's the API itself, because it has .json here and it returns you everything in JSON. So I think that's API specific. If we delete it, it will fetch in the data all the time. Infinity fetching not once time. You think? I'm not sure. I think it depends how you're calling the thing. But could be. Oh, it makes sense. Yeah. So that was like something that I forgot to pay attention to once, and I was like, why don't I get things? But yeah. So we need to check what how do you call it? Like the transporter returns us, and what we actually want to get from it. So there we go. We have our IDs. Very, very, very nice. However, we wanted to get top products, right? Which in our case, we said that it's gonna be, which ones? Eco certified products. So let's call it get top product. We're just gonna call it like that, right? And here we're gonna do base URL, and we need to construct it. Okay, so I'm jumping around a little bit here. So in the browser, we did it like this. We have our base API until .json, and then we add question mark and product tags eco cert. But as far as I remember, in Axios, you can actually pass params, and they're gonna create this URL for you. I remember I did that in the Wikipedia API challenge. Headers data. No, I think we're too far. So where was the config? The response. Ah yeah, see, this is the response schema. So they're already telling us what we're gonna be receiving back, and this is what we wanted. Data is the response that was provided by the server. That's what we need to do. So in general, this would probably be response, right? And then we can do response.data. That would be probably the proper syntax. Let's maybe do that in order to not confuse ourselves next time we read this code. Response.data. There we go. Reverse the get data to get the newest. It's better to have JSON viewer extension. Yes, Ashraf, I know. I just forgot it again. I agree. But it's fine. We don't need it. Where is this data? There we go, params. So, params are the URL parameters to be sent with the request. Must be a plain object or a URL search params object. So let's copy this babe. There we go. I think you can just do you need an object? Let me check. So, what? Use the config option. Okay, so that's how you can use the config option. You just open object after your URL and you put the params. And in our case, the params are gonna be product tags, and it's gonna be eco search. Save it and let's see. There we go, we got only 3 products and that's exactly what we need. Cool. So for now, this is like a tiny hook that works for us. It's not gonna be the end result because of many things. For example, if we want this hook to reuse it to kind of like be responsible for all of our API requests, then we're not gonna do the use effect on here all the time. I'm not sure how we're gonna do it yet. Maybe we're gonna have a custom hook for each page request kind of, or maybe we're just gonna have different functions, and probably gonna have different functions, and then we can just return those functions and then call those functions in here. Let's maybe do that now. What do you say? Let me show you what I want it to look like eventually. So this use effect, forget about it. Let's get top product to be available to our component. Save this. Go to top product, and now you're going to be receiving another one, get top product. And in here, we're going to have the use effect. And we can call this and like that. Why I don't like it. Hook effect has a missing dependency. Yeah. So that's another thing. If I write it in the hook, then it's fine. But if I don't write it in the hook, then it starts complaining. For now, ignore that. We might fix that later on. Yeah, React to exhaustive depths. Yeah, it says yes. Okay. So what happened now is that I'm just defining the functions and the things that I'm going to be calling in this hook, but the hook is not going to be responsible for actually calling those functions, if that makes sense. So now, what did I do? Let me save that. I go to top products, and top products is the one that is responsible. If that doesn't make sense, this is the syntax that I just did in the previous one. That's how it looks like. Just like this. It's the same. So as soon as this component loads, the use effect is gonna kick in. It's gonna call the get top products function in our hook. So if we go to our hook, it's gonna call it. It's gonna call our API. It's gonna wait for the response, and then with the response.data, it's going to set our products, and the products are gonna be set to the data from the API, and then we're returning the products to our component, and then we're looping over it. What do you say? What do you think? What do you think? Was that too much? Did it make sense? Or was it too like a... Pretty cool. Nice. And that's kind of like, sometimes it's hard for me to explain things because there's like all those little chains that are kind of already by default in my head, because after you do them for a while, it's kind of like second nature to you. And I need to kind of like keep this in mind, and then you got this, and then you have this, and then you have this, and then you have this, and there you go, this. My mind is just explaining what it makes sense. Okay, cool. As long as it makes sense. We're gonna be doing that quite a lot in the next like streams and probably a couple of weeks, because this project is huge. So it's probably gonna make more sense later on. But as long as it's not understandable, then it's okay. So as always, I have this complaint that each child should have a unique key prop, which we know. So another thing about this error, that's actually, it's not new, but it's in the couple of recent updates of React, they have implemented this kind of like a warning here in the console. And in some places, it actually tells you that it's an error. So what does it mean is that we should be passing this function in this array of dependencies. Because usually whatever you use inside of here should be passed as a dependency here. But that also includes some complications later on, because you can end up in an infinite loop. In order to avoid that, you would need to wrap this in a use callback. Now, I'm not sure if that's a little bit too much for now. But that's something that I just wanted to put out there, so we know that we are probably gonna be tweaking that a little bit here and there, and we do have kind of like a warning / error here. It's more of a recommendation from the React people to tell us how things should be done. The React use callback hook was, probably still is, no, it's not my most confusing one. The most confusing one for me is use memo. It's like, it just doesn't settle. I don't know, maybe I didn't find a good use case for that, but the use callback kind of like starts bit by bit to be a little bit more, I don't know, natural in using it. I'm not sure. So I absolutely understand and identify if that doesn't make sense now. I'm also probably not explaining it to the full depth of it yet. So let's keep that for later, once I use it a couple of times at work, and then we can maybe go through it again and add it properly. But for now, I think having a custom hook and use effect and use state is okay for now, right? Let's have a break from fetching data and actually create the card that needs to go into here, because we need to work with the data that we fetched. So one thing is to fetch the data, another thing is to start working with the data that we have. Okay, so I usually like going in here to see what I have from the data that I fetched. It's kind of like an equivalent of a console log, but a little bit, I don't know, probably an equivalent. It's just that you don't need to actually write console log, you can just use it. So we have brand, we have some description, we have an image link, and product type is also good. And I think kind of like that's all what we need, right? Because if we're gonna go into our design, then we can have here the product type, the description. I guess we should have price, but ours is 0, so I'm not so sure. Okay, it's spa time. So, let's start. Let's check first what images we can use, because I'm not really sure which one of them. We have several of them, so it's a little bit confusing. No, why did I go here? I want to go here. There we go. So we said that we want to use, you know what? Let's do a div. And then in here, we're going to have stuff. So we have the product ID. Then I want to have the name. Then description. Brand we didn't have. Okay, let's it also has a price, so let's do product.price and product.price sign. Woohoo, look at this. So I think I should probably write ID, name, description, and price. And let's have margin bottom, just to separate the data. Margin bottom 10, whatever. Cool. So ID, name, liquid liner, description. Kind of a long description, isn't it? How do they have it in their makeup thing? So if I go to here, no, vegan, yeah. So here how it looks like. Okay, maybe we can also do it. The name and the category. And ditch the description. We don't need the description. ID. She's watching like, are you still doing that? Why are you talking always to your computer, girl? Like the whole day he was talking to you. Now again. Okay, we don't always have a category. Okay, let's get an image to figure things out. Okay, it's time for her to sleep, I guess. dot, what did we have here? So we have an image link, which is a full link. And then we have API featured image. Which one should we use? So the thing about the API featured image, we actually don't have any extension. Like, what is that? I feel like there should be like an end to it, no? If I go to HTTPS, what is this? Oh, I actually get stuff? So which one would be better to use? The API featured image or the image link? What does the image link give me? Same, huh? You know what? Let's try this. Hey Abdul, how are you? Product dot. What was it? Type prop. Huh? What did I miss? This one out is going to be our product name. Hi Abdul. There we go. There we go. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so we need to limit the size of it. We already know that by now. 50. Oh, that's kind of small. And we have this cutout thingy because we have a height here. So let's remove the height. Yeah, cool. So price 0.0 is very, very appealing to me, right? The ID we can remove, we're clearly not going to be using it. Category either because it's not there. What can we use? Should we use the brand? Green people. Ooh, product API URL. Ooh, I didn't see that one before. Oh, nice. Okay, so, okay, fine. So remember how previously I was kind of like, oh, how are we gonna... Hey, Sasha, how you doing? So remember how before I was kind of like, oh, we don't have the ID thing that I was trying to get here. I was doing like ID equals 1040. That's what I wanted to use it for. I wanted to use it for this, for the product link. This? No. Where was I? Here, product API URL. So this way, this gives us a way to actually get to this product specifically. There we go. To this one specifically once we need to display a single product, and we don't need to do like JavaScript manipulations, which is still a possibility, but you probably don't want to do that. Like, it's kind of like a DIY solution. To set default category in case there isn't a category. Ah, yeah, good idea. We could do that. But what would be the default category? Oh no, I have to leave. I hope everything continues going well. See you in the next stream. Oh, so sad, Antonio, but I hope you're gonna have a good day. And thank you for making it so early. See you tomorrow. So yeah, that's a good one. I don't know why there was like so much data that I didn't even figure out that this is what it was. We could do tags list maybe, but what if we have too many tags? Maybe we're okay with just that, right? Bye. Let's keep the ID. 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 We'll need that because then we can construct this thing with our ID. Because the base URL is just products.json, right? v1/products, and if I do /1040.json, no, then it should work. Yes! Ooh, I'm so happy about this. I'm very happy about this. Alrighty, let's create this one. Let's make it something nice. Flex, first of all, just like to have it all in one row. Alright, not uncategorized. Yeah, but I mean, I guess we could put that later on, right, in our page. But maybe if it's like on your landing page, like if it's the first thing you see and you already show that you don't have a category for this thing, then you're just like, I don't know. At least to me, as a I would say heavy makeup user, that would be kind of like, what's going on there? Why didn't you do that? I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of a makeup user and a web developer. So I'm kind of like. By the way, there is like this one major website in Germany that for some reason, I don't know why, but they messed up with my cookie or with my JWT token. And I know that because once I try to log in, I cannot log in through like one specific browser. I have no idea why. Then I go to another browser, even though I clear like all the cache and all the cookies and everything, it still doesn't go through. Only if I log in like through my other account, browser account, or through incognito, then it works. But in that specific one, it doesn't. And that freaks me out because I don't know what's happening, they don't know what's happening, and it's just a gray bad zone. So anyway, that was like speaking about makeup and products. So how does our design look like? Or most importantly, let's create a component. So I wanted to name the component product, but that's not entirely correct because we are going to have, so we're gonna have this kind of view of a product as well as, okay, this one is the same actually. But then we're also gonna have this one, which is probably gonna be a page. Okay, that's fine. Makes sense. Oh. So we're gonna go, let's go with product, it's fine. Might regret it later, but you know. Product.jsx and index.js. There we go, and here product. So let's put this product here down, and we're gonna go back to our top product. I'm gonna close this one, still alright. And this babes is going away. Or copy it. It's gonna go in here. And I don't want to pass the whole product. I actually want to pass everything bit by bit what we're gonna need. So deconstruct the props. If you don't deconstruct them, you're just gonna write here props, and then you will need to do props.id, props.name. Personal preference, I prefer to do it like this. ID, name, brand, what was it? Image URL, price, currency. Cool. Then here, okay, let's do it before. Here I'm gonna do product, and I'm gonna pass ID as a product.id, name, brand, image URL, but in this case it's not. In this case it's not image URL, it's here. And then we have price, currency, and in here it's gonna be price sign. Is that all? ID, name, brand, image URL, price, currency. Yep. Cool, remove that. And here, of course, not gonna forget the key. No. Product.id. Save that. Remove the product thingy from everywhere. And also here is gonna be image URL, name, currency. Yeah, good to go. There we go. Transformed it into a component, and now we have it. So now it's gonna be easier, or yeah, I think it's gonna be easier to style it, because now it's kind of like isolated, you know, and we don't need to think about it anymore. What else? I think we're good in the top products for now. So ID, we're not gonna, are we gonna use it? No, not yet. So should we already convert it to a link? Because if you check the design, I assume that as soon as you hover on it, you can click on it and it's going to redirect you to the products page, right? I mean, otherwise, why would you show it, right? Why would you want it there if you cannot click it or buy it or something? We're not gonna do the card here and the heart here, because I think that just adds complexity to it. No, we're not gonna do it, at least not now. So we need the product page. Or no, we don't. Let's just create a link. The product page can wait. I can put here to do, create a product page. Yeah. So where did we have a link? We had a link in the footer. That's how I work usually. I just find where I used it before and I copy it. Because figuring out where to import what from, why? When you can just copy paste. And then this is gonna become a link. Save it, and it's probably gonna look slightly different. Yeah. We need, last time we learned that we need to put it a block, which didn't change anything, but okay. And 2, let's for now just add /about. That's our go-to page. I added it in curly brackets because later on we're gonna play with params and IDs and all of that stuff. But for now, keep it like this. Although I do want to remove this ID without losing it in my props. Okay, fine. This URL is a false URL. It's not what we're gonna have, but we can pass here an ID, okay? Just keep it there. Just keep it there, okay? Don't look at it, but keep it there. Okay, now design. So here we have the A. Let's go to our classes. And now we're gonna start with our Tailwind CSS magic. So what do we want to add? So it definitely needs a shadow and a hover. The name should be yellow and should be bold. So maybe our name can be, so first text yellow, can be font Corona, text small, and lowercase. Such a pro already with Tailwind CSS, just reusing all of those classes again and again. Boom. Okay, remove the name though, that's embarrassing. There we go. I think that's nice. I don't know why I'm so. Okay, then the image. So our image should actually go on top. And we should, instead of defining the width, maybe we should define, no, we should define the width. But we also need to define the height. So I would really hope that they have normalized their images to be of a square format for all of them, because otherwise it's gonna be a mess, just like in our dashy dash stream where the images were different. It doesn't look to me like it's a square, or does it? Let me check. Inspect. It's not a square. Damn it. Fine. So we're gonna restrict it with a height. Okay. I wonder if in Tailwind you have something for that. Tarek, do you know? Images. Class inline. Okay, fine. Now I'm looking at this object fit and object position. I feel like we already talked about it, but I forgot. But okay, never mind. So, how about we limit the height to 50? Yes. What? I guess if you limit the height, you also need to write the width of it, right? So if I do width 100%, or width is going to be auto. But it didn't change a thing. What? Height, auto, width, 40 pixels. Okay, I feel like 120 pixels is fine. What is it? I don't know, it was just like weird height thing that the image was not taking the height. Weird. I don't know. We set it to 50, but it wasn't listening to us. So I love this 0.99. I love this. Very nice. We should probably make it thicker, right? We should be like 0.99, buy it now. Oh, you regret this. There's like almost 2 minutes delay. What? Really? I actually removed the The what? The I removed the delay of being so delay. Interesting. See, maybe it didn't work. Damn. Because I did it in a way that whenever like the stream disconnects or something, then to jump straight away to the place where it ended instead of kind of like showing the delay. But apparently that didn't work well, did it? Two minutes, that's a lot. I feel like the longer I stream, the more the delay happens. So it's kind of like a gradually, I don't know what's the term of it in math, but you know, like when the line is not linear, it's like, phew. But yeah, anyway, let's just finish with this one. It upsets me a little bit that we have such a big delay. So try to change them into display an inline block. Why? The link or the image? Exponent, yeah. And try to give them a height. I did give them a height, but it was weird. It didn't work. It's fine. Let's just skip that. So, how do we work with those things? So I remember like in Bootstrap, I would create columns and then I would wrap it. But since we don't have Bootstrap anymore. No, we don't actually need the columns. We can just use Flex. We can specify the minimum width of our card. And then if it goes beyond it, not goes beyond it, if the page is too small, then the cards are just gonna wrap one under another. And the card is gonna be small enough for smaller screens. Although haven't cared yet for smaller screens, and suddenly I do. Yeah, doesn't matter. So the price can be, put the image in a block container and center the image inside it. Yep, can do that. Still didn't get to that part though. So the P class, I wanted to make it a little bit more prominent, like they have it. So it's also gonna be font Corona. Font Corona. It's gonna be text. They have small, then what, base, and then large. Let's see what large offers us. Okay, not too bad. Weird how. I think I lost the conversation. The weird was that, look, if I do height, some of them, it's just weird. In terms of like, I think I need to apply more classes to it and I don't want to do that. Squish, no. So I saw that the image is by default width 100%, and then I give it a height, and then it just doesn't. But it's fine, it was just like an experiment. We can keep the width of 120 because our card is going to be also a fixed width, so it's okay. So to actually understand what we're working with, I want to add a border, just for now. I like adding borders, just to understand what we're working with. Oh, not here, here. Border. Ugh, not here, here. Border, there we go. So border. There we go. And I want to give it a little bit of a padding stuff. Well, do I need the block even? I don't. Yeah, I can do a flex column, and justify center. Center didn't work. Align. What? We should probably also add a loader once we don't have the products yet. So this is a flex, then we have this. Flex. No. Align. You can give inline element a height. Probably we can. Do you think that was the issue? Maybe. There we go. Item center. But I think Abdul was right. I don't want to put the whole thing in the center, just the image. So, class name, flex, and align. No, justify. No, items, center. Oopsie. There we go. Yep. Maybe? I don't want that. Oh my god, what is happening here? Why I cannot get it? So, flex, align center clearly didn't do anything for us. Item center should do, but it doesn't because it's flex, right? So maybe I just need to give the image an Emacs auto. And then we don't need any freaking flexy schmexy. I could probably even do that without the div, right? Seriously, Emacs Auto is the best invention ever. So we also wanted to have some inline element can't have a height. Huh. So we would need to convert them to a block inline, or at least a block, and then we can give them a height, yeah? That's why I thought maybe you should give the image inline block and set a height on it. Oh, okay, I get it now. But we're fine like this, I guess. So I want some padding. Why? Maybe like 4, 5, 6. 6 is all right. When you use flex, you have to consider the flex direction to use center. Yeah. So if you have a flex row, then it's gonna be with like justify stuff or align items. And then if you have a flex column, then they kind of like swap each other. Yeah. Do you hear the doggy barking? She's on a guardian duty. She's watching outside of the window, checking that everybody's, you know, obeying the rules. She also has like she has some beef with some other doggies here. But I mean, it's not her fault. She's the sweetest. It's the others who are wrong. And I'm not saying that because she's not even my dog, right? But I really love her dearly. But anyway, you're not here for a dog talk, I guess. So px is 4 and py is 6. Okay, we also want some serious paw patrolling. Margin right, I would like to have about... Okay, so with the margin, we're gonna see once we add hover effects, because I feel like our card should grow a little bit bigger. Like the scale should get higher, and then the shadow should get there. And then we'll see how much space we have left with. Miley? Miley? So I learned that in Tailwind CSS, you can do hover. For some reason that doesn't apply now. So wait a second. Box. What about shadow? Uh, 2XL. Large sounds okay, right? So if we do hover, shadow LG, that should be good. The dog horse, yeah. Some serious business on the block. You don't want to have them in the same hall. But it's also like, you know, they're like those dogs that you take the dog outside and then just like they go nuts at anybody. So, and you know, it's not necessarily the dog's fault, right? Maybe the dog wasn't educated, or maybe the dog has grown in like worse conditions. So. What did I want to do? I wanted to add here this thing. Let's see if that works. Didn't work. Well, why am I not surprised that it didn't work? Hover effect. Oh, you actually write a hover. Why did I do HV? Okay. And we could also add like a smooth transition. There we go. Nice. Wait, so you don't actually need to use hover anymore? Can we use grid? It have more features that can help. I don't think... Here we're gonna have just like 3 or 4 products. We're not gonna use here grid, but maybe in the other one we could. Although, like why? It's basically... Actually no, I don't think that we're gonna use grid, because look, even it's not because I don't like grid. That's absolutely has nothing to do with that, I promise. Because here, that's kind of like our heavy product page, products, and we have just like items, right? They're just like one under each other, and if there's like a bigger space, then there's gonna be more. If less, then they're just gonna wrap themselves. So I don't think that we need to have a grid for that. A grid would be like, I think a grid would be an overkill in this case. It's like my personal opinion. You have to check if the hover is active for it, otherwise you have to add it in the config. Active for the specific property you want to change on the hover. Ah, interesting. But this one worked. This one was fine. And I think I want 2XL. Boom. Yeah. I want it to be like there. Now, does Tailwind, okay, so if I do transition, duration, blah, blah, let's just copy this. So, ooh. Oh, that's nice, right? But the delay is a little bit too much. What if I do delay 50? Is that... Yeah, that's cool. Okay, do they have scale? I know I'm all over the place. I'm just like finding something in Tailwind. It's like, I like that. We're taking that. What about scale? Scale. Scale. Scale 50. So that's gonna be on hover as well. Hover, scale 50. I feel like the hover stuff should go... Like I also usually like to organize my classes. So I tend to have like the margins and the paddings together. Flex usually comes first in order to understand how like the items are, you know. And now that we have hover classes, maybe it's okay to put them here and then whatever we have on hover transitions are happening there. Grid should be used when you need 2D layout, 3D layout, right? So, I don't think it does anything. Hover, scale 50. Or I don't need to add hover. No. Oh, transform. Okay, sorry. But then, yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, nice. Okay, so you need to specify transform to be there, and then on hover you can scale it. So it requires a little bit of a workaround here, but it's gonna be okay. Let's move this one to the beginning of the hover adventure, just because I want to. And now, there we go. I want the 105. Because the 50 is apparently making it smaller. So 105. There we go. There we go. There we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nice. So now you see, now like we hover on it, it scales. And we need to account for a little bit more of a margin between the items. So we can add a margin X of 4. Damn, every time I say something it gets read by the next generation. What? So I think that one's alright, kind of ish. Yeah, now it's getting smaller. We need to add flex wrap to it in top products. Here, flex wrap. There we go, and now it wrapped automatically under. However, looks sucky. So first I like to also add a margin bottom of, let's say, 4, since we have it on the left as well. Oh, actually I don't want MX, because then it creates, like, in some places a double margin, so I don't want that. I meant 2D as in bidirectional layout, unlike Flex that is monodirectional layout. Ooh, that's fancy stuff. I just said 3D because I remember there was this distinguish that I read somewhere. yeah, that's Flexbox is for 2D and grid is for 3D. But yeah, now that you say that, it doesn't make sense. Because nothing really comes out of our screen, right? We're not using the Z index, but well, never mind. Product card looks like some flat design card. Yeah. Is it bad? So this needs to be an M right. Yep. And then this whole thing can have an MX auto. No, it's not gonna have that because it's already flex. So do I want to justify it? Yes, I do want to justify it. Justify item center. Why you're not flexing? What's the issue now? Okay, justify around. I'm always gonna confuse them, so pardon. However, no, that's not what I wanted. Because if this grows, the distance grows. I don't want the distance to grow. That's not what I want. No. I want justify center. Oh, okay, so I just added a useless name between them. 3D is the Z index. Yeah. Justify center. There we go. And this way, whenever we go, it's always gonna be centered. Also, the image needs some margin bottom of 4. No, it's good. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. How much does we give? Padding Y 6, so I guess the margin bottom should be also 6 to match the space that we have on top of the image. Yes, nice. It's not too bad, is it? Ooh, that's nasty. Look at this. Once you hover, you actually see the white square of the under product. So we need a bigger margin. That's the only option I see. Let's put 6 everywhere. PX can stay 4. Maybe you can do it even 2. To have it more shrinked. Yeah. You can still see it a little bit, but maybe let's remove the 2XL, just have 1XL. Yeah, cool. Now it's fine. Maybe the 2XL was a little bit excessive. That's okay now. Cool. So, center and give the margin. Yeah. So I don't need this. I don't need this. Save that. Save. And okay, I can remove the return from here because it's gonna be just like that. Yep. Create a product page. Yes, that's on the to-do list. And now top products need to have a little bit of space under them, don't they? It's like, why is this button touching the card? That should not happen. So this one needs to have a margin bottom of 6. Yep, not bad, not bad, not bad. Not bad. We can remove the border now. Boom, 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 boom. Do we like it? Kind of looks the same, right? Except of the part that they have a circle on it. Let's do the circle. We still didn't do any of those fancy circles anywhere. So let's start, right? Let's do the circle. It's gonna be here. So I would assume that we need to pack it in a div because the div is gonna have a position relative. And then we're gonna have a span that is gonna be this beautiful circle. Say that, and I wanna see what Tailwind has to offer. I should stop writing the messages always arrive late and out of context. Oh no! Maybe, Tarek, did you try to refresh the page? I mean, you probably did, right? But it's like, I have like the stream, I sometimes see if it's like super delay, but it's actually fine. So I'm not really sure what's happening. Or maybe it's just because, I don't know, the doves are bringing it. So, what did I want to do? Yeah, circle. Span, span, span. Where's the spanny span? There it is. So if I want to add it a width of, let's say 10, and a height of 10, and a background color, it looks neat. All right. Now, what's the BG? Black. Doesn't do anything, does it? Oh, what am I doing? This is... Cannot this do these things on a span? I already did that 2 times, this mistake, and I don't know why I keep on doing it. Anyway, let's try again. Yes. There we go, background black and rounded. There was somewhere that it could be just like a circle, right? No. Circle, rounded full. Yeah, okay, no, this. And now this needs to have a position relative, and this one absolute, and top, there we go. Top needs to be 0, and probably another color. BG light gray, and it needs to have, okay, so before I refresh the page and lose everything that I did, I'm gonna add a class name here, copied whatever I had, save it, not save it yet. Wait, and this div needs to have a class relative. Because if we're not going to define the relative, then I suspect that it's going to be relative to the page, and that's too much. Okay, now I need to add like a negative index to that. Yeah. Then to this one, set 10. Wait a second, what? Yeah, okay. Probably here we are gonna need to define our own class because it doesn't look like it has a z index of a minus. So this div needs to have, let's create product.css. Circle, product circle, circle, it's a class, and the z index is gonna be -1. And in order to use the fun stuff from Tailwind, then let's try and use that in our product. So we can do this, and then we can do all of this at apply, right? Just add utility class, yes. Oh, okay, let's try that. So but without the minus in the beginning, right? So that index in theme extend, here we go. We can do -1, -1. Whoops, yes, don't shout at me. So now if I add that, ah, no, you're right. Okay, now I see, because you cannot do z-1. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, took them a second. Okay. So now I want to give this a little bit of a padding. 2. Yeah. 1.5. Yeah. And margin left 1.5 too. What do you think? What do you say? What do you think? Okay, now we need more. Margin left of 6. No, that's too much. 4. If we're gonna have 2 numbers, so what if we have 25 points? Should be margin left 2. 3? Okay, let's give it a 4, fine. Okay, and here we had price. Nice, yes, thank you, Tarek. Okay, I also want to give this like a border radius a little bit, and that was rounded. Let's add it here, rounded. So this way, it had a tiny one. Maybe we can add a little bit more. Look at this amount of classes, crazy, but it's so easy to use. So I want to see how it looks like, so I'm going to select hover state, and now I can design for the hover state. Rounded B. What's the difference? What's the difference between rounded and rounded B? None. Okay. Ah, B's bottom. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Rounded MD. Okay, let's try rounded MD. I think it's a little bit more prominent. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. I can. Rounded MD. Let's go with that. I still feel maybe this one is too big. Like the text. Should we have a text? So the brand name, class name, can we text XS? Rounded SM, yeah. I like the MD better. Okay, fine. I actually think that this is alright. Right? Padding X can be 4 maybe. Yeah. I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually nice. What do you think? I already asked you, said it's okay. Sorry. Okay, where is this space coming from? Why do we have this gap here? What happened here? I have this and I have this. So, is it because this element is here? That's why? I just noticed that there's a makeup brand called Bring People. Yeah. It's certified. I know. Looks good. Cool. I do want to give the brand a little bit of a margin bottom. Form ID too much? No, it's okay. Cool. Maybe the price is too big. Is it too big? What if we do medium? I think medium is nicer. But then we need the padding top of 2. Yeah. I think it looks pretty nice, right? So if we grow it, we don't have that many products, but it's alright. By the way, have you checked our very, very cool footer? I did it yesterday. Okay. We might need to fetch a little bit more products here because it looks pretty lonely. I don't like this thing, but I think it's because we moved this one, so it's position absolute, and we moved it down, but I think it still reserved the space of it. So, didn't see that. Didn't get a notification for your stream yesterday. Oh, I didn't stream it. I said that I'm gonna do it like offline by myself, and I did it by myself. I didn't stream yesterday. Yesterday was a day off. So yeah. So now if we click on it, we're gonna get into a page, which is how our links work, right? It's not the right page, but it works. Pretty happy with this result, actually. Don't look at the rest. The rest is still a work in progress. We can polish that later, right? Okay, let's see. Maybe we have something else that can give us a little bit more results. because I think it's a little bit sad. What if we go for, what is Purpix? What is that? Cert clean. What about cert clean? Only one? Ah, wait. That's not what I wanted to search for. So this is giving us specific categories. Ah, so now you're the kid who does his homework alone and hides it from his friends. No, not at all. I deliberately don't do anything without you being on stream, because then just kidding, I know it's hard to make so much progress in the stream with all the questions in chat. No, but that's not it. Like, I think it was like pretty boring, you know, like to do all this footer thing. It was just like me copying the word into footer, like file, and then reading it out. So I think that was just like, I wouldn't want to spend your time on watching that. That's why I did it. But yeah, in general, I deliberately don't do anything off of stream in order to kind of like go through the experience with you, show you the struggles, share whatever pops in my head in that time. But the footer I had to. So if you actually want to know how I did the footer, nothing sophisticated, but maybe something that... No, I actually did that before in the... what was the other stream? Was it the Dashy Dash? Yeah, it was the Dashy Dash, where we did, we had data and we were reading out. So we didn't have an API, but we had a data folder. And that's what I did. I have like a title and links. So every section, the about is not clickable, but everything under it is clickable. So there's like categories and subcategories. No, just categories and the links for them. And all the paths lead to the homepage because we don't have those pages. So, and they all have title, links, title, links, title, links. And then I read it out in the footer in here. So I import links from data footer links.json, and then I double loop over them. So you make it dynamic, nice. Yeah. Sort of, right? How the routing works. I didn't see any page refresh. Why? So this is because of React. React has its own link, because if you check here, so in the footer we have a tag, which is a component called link that we import from React Router DOM, which enables us not to refresh the page. And that's why it's called single page application, because there's actually only one page, kind of one HTML page, let's put it like that. And everything else is just like a render and a routing that happens within this HTML page. So that's why you don't see any refresh. You go to here and here and here, and it's super blasting fast. So yeah. And now you see, if we go to search and we go to home, I think it still fetches it. Yeah, because it renders the component. So we would probably need to fetch it and then save it in our like context API. So this way, if you go back, you don't need to refetch it. You know, if you fetched it once, then enough. There's no need to do it twice or 3 times or 4 times or so. So I'm pretty happy with this result, and I think that's gonna be all for today, because I'm gonna adhere to time and not be too late. I also have a lot of work at work before I go on holidays. I don't go anywhere. I'm just not gonna work for 2 weeks. I am gonna stream because I think it's fun. I don't know if I'm gonna stream every day or maybe if I'm gonna take a week off. I don't know. I still don't know. I don't know. Still figuring things out, but I'm gonna be staying here. Just not gonna work, so that's why I need to finish some work before I go on holidays, so my ticket can go live, hopefully, and then everybody can be happy. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. we did a very good progress in my opinion. Maybe not a lot of visual stuff, but we created a custom hook. We used React hooks. We kind of like send data from hook to a component and then down to the props. We could probably tomorrow add, so tomorrow what we're gonna do in general, we're gonna add the product page, a single page, which is this one. Yep. I think we're gonna go through that one first before we add the other products page, because I think that one is massive and it has a lot of functionality. So let's go and add this one tomorrow. So we're gonna create a product page. We're gonna add some prop types, and I think that's it for tomorrow. Yeah, on Wednesday we're probably gonna have a little bit of a more chiller stream where we're gonna like do some touch-ups, and then Thursday, Friday we can go full on into like the heavy lifting of this, babes. How does that sound? I hope that sounds nice. And I hope I remember this plan in my head tomorrow or in 15 minutes even. You never know what other important information is gonna happen. I'm gonna encounter, and it's gonna kind of like push away the other information. That happens sometimes, which is fine. That's why I have you to remind me what we're gonna be doing, right? Alrighty then. I'm gonna push everything. So if you want to check it out, it's gonna be in the GitHub repository that is linked in the description box below, and it's in the code along folder. Yeah, but you'll figure it out. It's pretty self-explanatory. And yeah, maybe tomorrow we're gonna figure out other stuff to fetch here, but for sure we will do the product page. And we're gonna have some fun, right? Like we always do. Okay, so thank you for joining. It was rather a short one, although actually it's not a short one. It's 2.5 hours. That's not short, Daniela. That's still long stream. Hope you had a fulfilling time full of knowledge, and thank you for sharing all the knowledge that you have with me as well and with the rest. Yeah, gonna wish you a good day, evening, night, wherever you are. Stay safe and see you tomorrow, 7:15 p.m. Central European Summertime. Bye. Good night. Okay, bye.